Trump is in the news again because
he's allowing.
Well, because his show, The Apprentice, is starting again in January.
Oh, yeah.
He held a big press conference to see if he was going to allow Miss USA, such a prestigious title, to regain
Well, it's
and
supposed to be.
Miss America is the prestige. Miss USA is a different thing.
Representing America in a bathing suit.
Yes, it's basically a model competition. Let's be realistic, okay?
What about peace in the world? They always want peace in the world.
They have one question in Miss USA.
And they always say,
I'd like to cure cancer and end world hunger. And then I'd like to go to Studio 54 and do some crack. You know, but apparently, this young girl, Tara Connor, how old is she? 21. She went out and she was partying. She's from Kentucky.
She's so cute.
She went to New York and she was hanging out at all the parties, doing what Paris and Lindsay do, you know, dancing, whatever. And so he held a press conference to announce whether or not she was going to retain her crown. And then she started to cry.
She did.
Going, I just want to thank Donald for giving me a second chance.
And it was brilliant.
And there he is, hair looping, going, everyone deserves a second chance. And I'm going to give her a second chance.
Her hair is perfect for that. Your hair is perfect for that.
Listen, he annoys me on a multitude of levels. He's the moral authority. Left the first wife, had an affair. Left the second wife, had an affair. Had kids both times, but he's the moral compass for 20-year-olds in America. Donald, sit and spin, my friends. I don't enjoy him. No.
Let's hear the other side.
This is the thing. You know, you say what you want to say about him. I know you said that his father gave him his money.
It's
I know
true.
that. Well, listen. The fact of the matter is, you say what you want to say, but he's a businessman. He's a master of branding. There are a lot of kids who've inherited money from their parents, and you can't see anything about it except a car or a house that's defunct.
He inherited a lot of money. Wait a minute. And he's been bankrupt so many times where he didn't have to pay.
People have been bankrupt, but he's come back.
The people beneath him who he owed money to got shorted out of the money, but he got to again try again and again. And you know what saved him the second time? After his father died, with that money, he paid off all his bankruptcy. This is not a self-made man.
He's honorable. He paid off his creditors.
No, he didn't. He didn't pay off the people he owed.
They put you on
Here
a
comes
payment
a
plan.
lawsuit. Get ready. This is going to be good.
Rosie, they put you on a payment plan.
He sues, you know.
I can imagine. He's going to sue me, but he'll be bankrupt by that time, so I won't have to worry. But I don't know. I just think that this man is like sort of one of those, you know, snake oil salesmen in Little House on the Prairie. You remember that episode where the guy would come in with a lot of bottles and everybody would be like, ooh, and then he'd leave and little Laura Ingalls would go, Dad, I don't think there's anything in this bottle. Well, you're right, Half Pint. That man was full of crap. You know, that's sort of what it is, I think, you know.
I love it.
That's my opinion. I don't enjoy him.
Yeah, it wasn't weird.
But he's saving the Miss USA franchise.
Saving
and that
it
is a
from
franchise.
what?
Well, there are a lot of young women out there in America, maybe not you, maybe not me, that ever entered a beauty contest.
We should change the tune to "There She Goes Into Rehab."
That's right. But that's not even Miss USA. That's the Miss America song.
They're both the same.
They're not the same.
Very different. They're very different.
They're in bathing suits, aren't they?
No, Miss America's not in bathing suits anymore.
Miss America's different. Miss America is a scholarship, that's right, and it's for women who have brains as well as beauty, and Miss USA is basically...
I think there's some Miss USAs out there who are smart, who are trying to get out of their hometowns, who are trying to make a difference in the world, and maybe it's not necessarily the vision of Mr. Donald Trump, but there are a lot of women that this has been a ticket to someplace greater.
Can you name one former Miss USA? Can you
Well, I
name
haven't
one?
been fraternizing with them, and they're a lot younger than me, the contemporary ones.
So can you name one in the world?
No, I cannot. But this one in particular, when she said, you know, I'm all for second chances, but when she said, you know, I got caught up in everything, I find it hard to just listen to something like that, because when you're out, you're partying, you're doing whatever you're doing, to just be so passive about it and how you got there, I feel like you don't get caught up. Like, you make decisions along the course of your life.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was
Well, but you forgive Britney. Wait a second. Everybody forgives Britney. Why don't you forgive this girl?
We keep saying she's only 20, she's only 20, but yet every time we talk about teenagers, we say how old they are when they're 16. They know so much more at 16 than they ever have before. At 20, you know a heck of a lot.
I think they should be locked up, first of all, during that entire period. Just lock them up.
Keep them in the house.
Let them eat, get fat, and then they can lose it in their 20s.
I just feel bad that he's using her personal issues